in the chat box and you tell me the rectification.
Every year she says
Okay.
going to be happen, going to happen.
Yes, we don't need be. And but we do not use plural for knowledge.
Okay. It knowingly or unknowingly, you want your child to be better among those with whom he's competing with. I don't think still my point is same. Value they don't change. They remain same.
The same. The crux is the same, like you said. The what exactly has changed according to you in the environment?
The parents are getting overprotected nowadays. There are some who need your strictness,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So teachers should allow to scold,
It's not.
right?
It's not.
Teachers are so much polite, don't even raise their voice on the child.
True. And I couldn't agree with you more because I always enjoy sessions with you. It's always good because one of the major reasons is that you put so much of effort and you have a lot of inputs. So it's not like you're just putting efforts and talking whatever comes to your mind. It's not like that. So there is a very methodological and a logical way of approaching things, right? Which makes the conversation very healthy and very exciting. Always keeps me on my toes, right?
Yes, I have been doing good.
Okay. And how are the monsoons in Delhi NCR? Are they treating you well?
It's it's going well now. It's not that much. It's
Okay.
quite sunny today.
Okay. But you enjoy the sun or you enjoy the rains more?
I enjoy the sun. I don't like rainy season at all.
So I think this is common with a lot of us that we do not enjoy the gloomy and the depressing or the gray weather. We mostly enjoy
Right.
the sunny weather, right?
Sunny weather, right.
And I have a lot of friends now who are settled in Germany or UK. So there, generally, you don't get that kind of sunshine and warmth and sunlight during the day. So my first question to them is always this: like, how do you manage? I'll get depressed if I don't see the sun for 4 days at a stretch,
Same.
right?
Same.
You
Yeah.
need that. I don't even feel like going out if it has been raining for a very long
Right.
time. It becomes impossible to enjoy the weather outside. Okay, Karishma. So what's new?
Nothing new.
Nothing new.
Everything
Same
is still
old.
same.
So
Yeah.
had you watched Jab We Met, the movie?
Yes.
So,
Yes.
you remember the last part of the evening when she misses the train and Shahid Kapoor and Kareena are sitting in that bus and she's praying to God that just make this night a little less adventurous now, make it as boring as possible. So, that is every time I see that scene, it just strikes me that we understand the importance of boredom and regular or routine life only when we have a lot of ups and downs. Because
Right.
after that, our brain just wants to calm down,
Right.
just wants to have a peaceful time. So I think
Full
we always underestimate the routine life, and let's hope we all get a good routine life,
time.
right?
Right.
Okay, so Karishma, today we have the topic of values.
Mm.
Okay, so before we jump on to the session notes, I'd like to know from you what is one of the most valuable value that you have received from your family.
I don't know. First time I'm blank.
Okay, okay,
I
that's
don't have answer. I don't know.
okay. So let's think of the basic values, maybe two basic values which you think have been inculcated in every Indian child.
Okay, the first one is every person has to respect elders. That
Correct.
is must. Elder does not include the family members only, but the people who are living outside your family. If they
Correct.
are elder to you, you must respect them, right?
Correct.
The second thing is that again, it's about elders that you should not argue with them, which I
Okay.
do a lot.
Okay.
So, but it's not a good thing. Even if somebody is saying, wrong things. You know that it's not correct. But sometimes, for the sake of giving respect, you should listen to them, especially if they're elder to you.
Okay.
Uh, I'm not talking about the people who are you're equal to you or younger than you, but if someone is older, for example, if a 70-year-old person is saying something to you which is not true, uh, but still you have to listen to that. You should not argue on that particular thing.
Okay, okay. I don't know why today all these conversations are just reminding me of movie scenes. So the second point that you said, that we should listen to the older generation, respect them, even if we are not able to match in terms of the thinking or the mentality, we
Right.
should at least respect them enough to not back answer. Correct. So that reminded me of the I forgot the name. I think it's Dear Zindagi, Alia Bhatt's movie.
Okay.
There is a scene in which this older fellow tells Alia to exchange seats. Okay,
Okay.
and she agrees.
Okay. Yes.
Right, she walks down the aisle and then she sees that the seat he has been asking to exchange is between two men and she's not
Right.
comfortable sitting there. So she goes back and she says that, Uncle, I can't do this. And I think it was perfectly fine,
Fine.
right?
Yes, that's
She was
fine.
very polite, she was very cordial, very courteous, and with complete due respect she said that, sir, this is not something which I am comfortable doing. And the
True.
uncle made a huge deal out of it. So I think that is incorrect.
That is
Just,
incorrect. I'm also not favoring these kind of people. Obviously,
right.
something is right means right. You cannot. But for example, okay, now I would like to give you example to prove
Okay.
my point. What I wanted to say. For example, I said like, my mother-in-law, she is like 71 or 72 years old, right?
Okay.
So sometimes when it's scorching hot outside, she
Hmm.
doesn't feel comfortable at home. She always misses her hometown, which is Guwahati, Assam. So the
Oh,
weather of Guwahati is quite pleasant. It's not that scorching hot and all. So she always say every year she say that I'm not going to live here in Gurgaon next year. I will go there and I'll buy some property. I will live there, and you can also send your son Mitansh with me, and we both will live there. This is just an imagination. It is not going to be happen at any cost. Now if I will start arguing with her, no ma, why are you saying it? Why would I allow my son to go with you? You go if you want to. Doesn't make sense at all, because she
correct.
was, whatever she was saying, it was just out of the moment. She didn't even mean that she will go. She has been telling it from last 8 years. She's never gone
She's
there.
never gone.
She
Okay.
never spent any summer there. Even if she goes, she never feel comfortable in any other place except home. If she
Okay.
go, for example, if she's been to Pune few days ago. She
Okay.
lived there for a month, and
Okay.
she was telling me after returning from there, she was telling me that, oh my god, it was like very tiring trip. I was missing my home. I was thinking like, will I reach to my home? So, but when she is at home, she always speaks about like I should go there. Also, in every winter, she says like that. So we should
Okay.
listen to them because they are old people. They are in their own imagination. It's not
Correct.
necessary to answer everything and pointing them back on every small thing, right?
Right.
So from that point of view, I was saying it.
Correct. Correct. Especially when you know that this is in the moment,
In
in
the
the
moment.
spur of the moment, she has spoken something like this, but she is not going to go ahead and make sure she
Right,
fulfills what she has said. So, what is the
right,
point of answering back, making it a
right,
huge discussion or an
right,
argument to make things
right,
worse? So, let's drop it there. Agree.
right.
So, tell me one value, or if maybe we can think about not just value, but a way of upbringing, okay, which you have received, but you do not want to pass on to your children.
Honestly speaking, whatever I have received, I feel really proud on that, and I want everything to pass on my kids, which is I'm not able to do it.
Okay.
Because I feel that my parents are very flexible. I would say that because I have seen parents usually they're strict when it comes to their children. They set boundaries that okay, you are allowed to do this, you are allowed to do that. But my parents had never set any kind of boundary for me. He always allow me. He always allow me to do work, to do anything freely. I had no restrictions. Whatever I wanted to do, I could do. So, and I think the nature of my parents, they're very calm.
Mm,
They did not shout on me. They
mm,
did not raise their hands on me,
mm.
which I'm doing very often. Every now and then, when I feel frustrated, I just scold them. So I think whatever I have received from my parents, that is really good, and I want to transfer it to my child. There is nothing that I feel that I should not give to my children.
Right. Sometimes when I think, like you said, that, setting the example, your parents have set a very good example. And in fact, you feel that you are not able to match up to the parenting
Right.
skills that they had. So definitely, I am on the same page, because I do feel that we lack a little bit of patience.
Patience.
And
Exactly.
but I would just like to add on to that we can't be too harsh on ourselves, because can you remember your childhood days, and can you remember the number of people who were involved when raising you?
Initially, it was like my joint family, but after a certain age, it was only my mother, father, and we two children. Yeah, like when I was only 7 or 8, I think we moved to a nuclear family. We can say that.
Nuclear
Yeah.
family unit, right? So, and being a mother, you know which the difficult years are. They are the first 5 years when the children do not
Right.
have long working school hours. Correct?
Right.
Back home, they are fidgety about the food that they want. They are not toilet
Right.
trained properly. You need to bathe them. You need to change their clothes. A lot of physical investment plus a lot of mental investment. Correct? But once the child starts getting ready on his or her own, eats his or her own food, I think it becomes much easier on the parent.
She's true.
So this generation has done everything from scratch on our own. So we also need to keep in mind the circumstances in which they had that much patience and we lost our patience.
Right.
Right? So I think we as a generation are looking up to our parents, but we are forgetting that they had a few advantages which we did not.
Yeah, that is true. But still, see, everything has a pros and cons. So there are few disadvantages also. Like they did not have, for example, there was no mobile phone. They used to actively participated with us in all the activities. I still remember those days when my father, he used to play with me Ludo. We used to play for long hours.
Mm.
Ludo, carom board. This is how we used to spend our day. At night,
Right.
we didn't have that facility of 24/7 electricity. So it used to be like 8 or 10 hours in a day, but rest of the time it's not there. So we used to sit together. We used to play antakshari during nights.
Mm.
So there are so many things that I think they took advantage of not having phone. Maybe it's, but yeah, ultimately, what I feel is that having a technology
Mm.
help us to grow our child in order to give them right knowledge.
Mm.
This is what I feel.
Right.
But earlier, we used to get all the knowledges only from schools. Parents were not that much involved. But for me, my father, he was involved because he used to teach me everything through stories, real stories. He used to tell me all the stories of like spiritual. That's
Mm.
how I came to know about spirituality, God. I learned all those mantra and all puja part, everything I have learned.
Right. Right.
So they also, I think, spend a lot of
Their
time and effort.
involvement was very solid.
Very solid. It's
Very
not
solid.
there in this era, right? This
Correct.
time it's not there.
The half of it is because we ourselves have become so dependent on the mobile phones.
Right.
Right?
Exactly.
And I think, as far as television is also concerned, I remember a very few serials, even the commercials which came up in during the ad breaks. They were also so limited in number, they had become like jingles. We had mugged up all of them.
Right.
They were so frequent and there were so few
We used
that
to
it was
sing.
learnt. We had by hearted all of them.
True.
Today, there are all those things which are completely missing. So, like you rightly said, there are pros and cons. So, to keep a child busy, to make them have more information and knowledge about different areas and spheres of
Right.
the world or the environment, it's a good thing. But somewhere we have taken a back seat as far as involvement in the child's
Right.
life is concerned, right?
Right.
So let's move a step further in the department of value. Okay, or should we just quickly go through the feedback first and then we'll touch the next?
Yes, yes.
Okay,
Sure.
now I'm just going to put it here in the chat box and you tell me the rectification.
Every year she says
Okay,
going to be happen,
so you were talking about your mother-in-law when you said that we know that this is not going to
not
be
going
happen.
to, not going to happen.
Yes, we don't need be. Okay, correct.
She never feels comfortable, never feels
Feels comfortable, correct.
proud on that.
So this was about the parents' upbringing. So you said I'm very proud on that. So one way of saying is I'm very proud of the upbringing, or I'm very proud about the way I have been brought up.
Okay.
Okay, right. Next is shout on me.
Shouted. They never shouted on me.
Shouted at me.
At me, okay.
At me. Shouted at me.
Shouted at me. Okay,
Right.
okay, got it.
And can you quickly pronounce scold?
Scold.
Yes. So the O sound is to be narrower,
Okay, I
not
used to
shorter.
say scold. I
Right.
know that.
So we'll just make
Scold.
it a little narrower. And instead
So
of
scolding.
scolding,
Okay,
scolding,
not
scolded,
scolding.
yes. Okay.
Got it.
And instead of grow our child, what better word than grow?
Nourishing,
Nourishing, raising
raising. Yeah.
a child. Okay, not growing. And but we do not use plural for knowledge.
Okay, got it.
We say in
I
the
know that.
singular form.
I know it, but I don't know why I use it.
No problem. Okay. So as I was saying, now we'll move one step ahead in the value department. Okay. The values we got in the family when we were growing up, and now the values which are given by the teachers, the staff, other older students in the school. What is your comment on it? Begin with it, and then we will take up the questions.
What I feel is that, or you can say that in my opinion, values are still the same.
Mhm.
If I talk about earlier days,
Mhm.
parents used to teach their children that be honest, be courageous, don't do wrong things. Same we are teaching now. There is no such different, but
Okay.
it's because of the technology or advancement of the time. We have to ask our children to restrict, like somewhere. I think how to say this. We are teaching some more extra things just to be
Okay.
precautious. Yeah, but I
Okay.
think values are same. It cannot be changed.
Okay. If the values are not changing, why do we see such a stark difference between the way the students behaved when we were children and the way students are behaving today? Especially if you look at the students between the age group of, say, 10 to 18 or 10 to 16.
So it is because of the time. Time has evolved. We as a
Okay.
people, we are evolving, and the time has changed, because of which we have to change few things,
Hmm.
and it is automatically happen because earlier there was no such competition, so we were not running out of students to do this and that multiple things at a time. But now if you will see the bag of 6 or 7 grade students, it's too heavy, they can't even carry themselves, right? So now we are forcing them to learn everything at a time, because you have to participate in the competition of world. You have to go far, you have to do this and that, like we are doing it.
Right.
Like, just for saying, we say that we are not pressurizing our child, but ultimately you know that you are doing it knowingly or unknowingly. You want your child to be better among those with whom he is competing with. So earlier there was no such thing. My grandmother, she used to tell me, if you will get 33 marks out of 100, that would be fine. We don't need you to see like 80%, 90% marks. But now grandmother says, I want you to achieve minimum 95% marks. Not grandmother, mothers also say that. So the time has changed. That is why the values changing for student perspective, as you said. And I don't think still my point is same. Value, they don't change. They remain same. We always ask our children to respect elders. We are still seeking the same thing, that to
Right.
respect. But students are not listening because the environment that plays a very significant role in growth of a child, I feel.
Right, right. So where this question came from was that, Karishma, when I see how
Mm-hmm.
children today they treat their teachers in the classroom, or how important is the teacher's instructions for the children. So if you remember, now I go maybe a decade back, further
Mm-hmm.
back than you. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so when if I talk about my school time, if the teacher has said something, it was like the red line, right? She has said it. Now beyond this, even if my parents come and tell me something, I will say no, this is my teacher's word and I've got to live up to it. Correct. Today there is a lot of change in that way, in that attitude towards the teacher, right? So what I want to know from you is, you said the values are the same, correct?
Right.
The parents even today tell that, listen, you're going to the school, you've got to respect your teacher, behave
Right.
yourself, be disciplined, don't hurt anybody, be honest, don't lie, correct?
Right.
So, and you said the environment has changed. So if
Mhm.
the core is the same, the crux is the same, like you said, it is the same, then what exactly has changed according to you in the environment that is bringing
Like,
this change?
yeah, I'm telling you the real fact that parents are getting overprotected nowadays. That is one thing what I feel is that if teacher just slap once your children, you started, shouting on them, you go and then complain and all. So you are ultimately trying to support your children. You
Hmm.
don't want anybody to shout on them. But the true and harsh reality is that kids are kids. You have to put some kind of pressure on them,
Exactly.
then only they are going to listen to you. Otherwise, if you feel that just by, I see on Instagram that parenting, what do we call that, nice parenting or something, there is a word I forgot.
Okay.
So you should do that kind of parenting. You should not raise your voice, you should not raise your hands, and you have to be polite always.
Hmm.
But it is not with every child. It is not going to apply on every child. Every
Hmm.
child is different. Maybe some of them, they can listen to you when you speak polite, but there are some who need your strictness,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So this is all our fault. I think a few days ago I had a session with one of the tutors on EnglishYaari, Meghna ma'am, and
Hmm.
we discussed the cruelty on child.
Hmm.
So there were few cases where government school teachers, they hit the students in inappropriate way. So
Right.
it's become a huge issue, and that's true. That's not allowed. But yes, you are doing extra care of your child.
Hmm.
Us,
Hmm.
if
Hmm.
teacher is scolding him, I think that should be fine. You should not
Correct.
create a big issue about that. I
Right.
am not supporting like hitting or something, but at least teachers should allow to scold. Now it is even not allowed in private schools,
It's not.
right?
It's not.
Teachers are so much polite, they can't even raise their voice on the child.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
That is the only thing which you see now, like why the behavior is changing. Students are not habitual of adopting
Yes.
that kind of thing. If something happened like this, student become aggressive because they, since childhood, they have never faced this kind of situation.
Right.
This
Right.
is what I feel.
That's very true. And I couldn't agree with you more, because what is happening is, when the same children are moving out of their homes, they are getting out of their comfort zones. That is when they are getting the real reality check.
Right.
And that is when they try to look where they stand, and they
Right.
get to know that life and world is a tough
Exactly.
place to be in.
Tough place.
We
Yes.
cannot manage the way we did at home. They're so pampered by the time that we have molded them into these small, little, tiny, fragile
Right.
showpieces who are scared to go out, that they'll probably break.
Right.
Right? Okay. So, Karishma, with that, we move towards the feedback session. Okay.
Okay.
And again, I always enjoy sessions with you. It's always good because one of the major reasons is that you put so much of effort and you have a lot of inputs. So it's not like you're just putting efforts and talking whatever comes to your mind. It's not like that. So there is a very methodological and a logical way of approaching things, right? Which makes the conversation very healthy and very exciting. Always keeps me on my toes, right?
Okay.
So, one thing which I felt maybe might have happened if I'm looking at, what I'll do is I'll just send this also. So, if you see a couple of things in the chat box, one is she never feel, and this is the teacher just slap. So, in this two, I'm seeing that probably because between the subject and the verb, another word
Okay.
has come, like never came before and just came in the second feedback that I have just sent. Okay, maybe that is why the subject verb agreement got a little confused.
I don't understand. You have to clarify.
Okay, so in the first paragraph that I gave in the feedback, can you see the third point? She never feel,
Yeah, she never feels
right?
comfortable.
And in the second part is teacher just slap,
Teacher just slap, right?
right? So here, she and teacher, both of them are the subjects,
Right,
and feel and slap are the verbs.
right.
So otherwise, when you are saying subject and verb agreement, there is proper. Where it is happening, the mistake is happening is when there is a word between the subject and the verb. For example, in the first case,
Just
there is the word never. And in the
never.
second case, there's the word.
Just.
So maybe that is where it is getting confused.
So how should I say this?
No, it should be slaps. The mistake I'm saying might have happened because of there
Okay,
being
teacher
a word.
slaps.
Yes.
Okay. Teacher just slap. Got it.
Okay, that
She feels. She
right,
never feels.
because in
Right.
both of them I see a common
Maybe I,
point,
yeah.
right?
Sometime I think it's nice that you pointed out because now I will also take care of this thing in future because usually I pronounce I make it right always.
Yeah,
But
and the
maybe
rest of
the
the
word
conversation
comes
you
between the
have
both. Maybe I
Hmm.
forgot to speak that kind of
That might
tendency
be
I'm
it,
following. Maybe
right? Okay, so Karishma, we'll end the session here, and I had a great time. Thank you so much for joining, and looking forward to having another session with you.
definitely. Thank
Right?
you so much. Bye
Okay,
bye.
Karishma, bye bye.